February 21st, 2025. Cold ass cold out there. Cold in the witch's tit, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, this is Bob and Lou at the Two Old Guys Garage. And this would be part 52, segment 1. And we can see that Lou has solved the problem where this was too far out, wouldn't fit. And he did that by taking the U-channel and repositioning it in further to the outside against some stops that were there that we didn't see the first time. So, there's a window frame. And if we go over to the other side, there's a window frame there. Now this one came and it was cracked, so he repaired it on the back side. This was a previous repair, but it's in, it's bolted, and it's working. And the windows go up and down. So, the next thing that's been done is, you've finished up a bunch of cracks, Lou?
Yeah, a bunch of cracks in where things seam together.
Okay, so you put more fiberglass.
Yeah, put more fiberglass.
Closed up the seams,
Yeah,
bunch of the
closed up
seams. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that he's done is, we talked about this before, Lou and I, and he took the fiberglass hood and actually cut the panels off to see how this was going to fit. You want to show how it fits or doesn't fit more accurately?
Yeah. It just, everything's off. Watch your fingers on.
Nothing lines up.
See the.
Yeah.
Get it to line up like the back there.
Yeah, if you center it up here,
Yeah, see it.
it's skewed off back here. And there's no way that this could be cut further and trimmed.
No.
It's so skewed off all over the place.
It's too far off.
Never going to fit. And remember that this is a stock steel fender and grill bolted to the body where it's supposed to be bolted to. So between this part and this part, it's just plain off.
Yeah.
So that means we're going to go back to what? Rolling a
Making a hood.
custom making a hood.
Yeah.
Out of we got that sheet aluminum. There it is here. That's was purchased to roll the hood. Huh. Oh, you got the whiskers in too, huh?
Yeah, just I didn't get the outer ones. I just the inner ones.
Yeah. Okay. These are the little. I guess they call them whiskers. Anyway, those buttress up the glass when it comes up and down, and there is some that's supposed to go on the outside piece. Do you think you'll be able to get it in there?
Yeah, it'll fit in there.
Yeah. So, future job will be to take and put this material, whisker material, on the outside piece, so that the glass is sandwiched between there.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so how about the registration for the plates? What's happening there?
Nothing. I haven't done nothing yet. It's been too cold. I didn't even bother to go down to DMV.
So, that kind of catches us up, I guess.
Yeah.
Not much else to do. All right, so I guess with that, I'm going to end this segment. And I may put a little bit of 32 Coupe maintenance update on the tail end of this. Maybe put another video out. We'll see what's happening. In the meantime, take care, everybody out there. If you're in the cold, which should be most of the United States,
Especially back east.
dress warm. And take care. See y'all later. Bye. Hi. Little maintenance update on my 32. A couple of months ago when I was working on replacing the crappy 48 Ford steering box with a brand new retro Corvair box, I had jacked the engine up to make room to work at the steering box. And in the course of doing that, this was tight against the stay rods for a day or two. And the end result was that it ended up crushing the gasket between the base of the carburetor and the phenolic spacer. Because when I went to start it up, it was just leaking air and running rougher than hell. So I replaced that gasket and it did improve it, but it still wasn't quite right. And I got to thinking about it. That's not the only gasket that got crushed. The one between the carburetor base plate and the throttle body, and the one between the intake manifold and the phenolic. So I took the carburetor off and replaced those. The throttle body gasket in the interior of the carburetor was so thin, so old, I actually measured it with a micrometer and it was 10,000ths of an inch. Talk about paper thin. Anyway, that improved it quite a bit more, but I still had a problem with the idle mixture screws on the carburetor not performing right. Did a little bit of research and discovered that if the throttle plates were open too far, the idle mixture screw slots were too exposed, and that was giving you a rich mixture. So I started looking at the distributor, and on the distributor, at first I was going to replace I tested the vacuum advance, it was working, I was going to replace this, but then this is deeply buried on the side. I couldn't get it in without taking the distributor out. So I thought, well, okay, 6 years ago, I had bought a new distributor, and it was defective when I got it in that this plate, which is supposed to rotate only for vacuum advance, was actually wobbling up and down, producing an erratic type point closure. Sent it back, ended up taking the original distributor that I put in the LT-1 and rebuilding it with a new set of points. So, put that back, that worked all right. However, let's talk about this distributor. This distributor is a 65 small block Chevy 327. This model at GM was used from 55 to 74. The difference being on whatever model it was in was the size of the weights, the springs, and the type of vacuum advance. And by the way, my reference point is 1970 Corvette, because that's what the LT-1 engine is. And that takes what's called a B26. And if I look there, that's not a B26, as to be expected. So I thought, well, it's been 6 years, and since I bought the new distributor from Rock Auto and it was bad, so I ordered another one. Now, one of the good things about that is that it's a billet aluminum, so it's lighter weight. And it came in, and it had the cheapest set of points that you could ever put in. No felt strip for lubing the cam lobes, no lobes no lobes lubed. And instead of having an Allen thing here to adjust the gapping and the dwell, it has a Phillips screw. And I noticed that the points were too close. You could see it visually. So I went to adjust the points to the recommended 15 thousandths, and I could not get this Phillips headed screw to turn. If I put force on it, it actually was lifting the plate up. So I took the ignition point set out of the new distributor, put it in the vise, got the adjustment to break loose, and discovered that they had put Loctite on the screw. Not very fucking good. You can't adjust it if it's got Loctite on it. Anyway, cleaned it up, put it back together, and put it in the car. Now, it's in the car, and of course I adjusted the initial timing, I adjusted checked the centrifugal, and I'm back to my 36 max centrifugal expanded at higher RPM with no vacuum advance. Now, about the vacuum advance, presumably this is the B26. Seems to be. At any rate, this distributor, as I said, came off of my through the rod 327 engine on my 48 Ford, and it was installed in '69, so it's time to change it. If you look here, that little Allen headed, and this was a mod that I put in it, many years ago. I think it was 1974, and that was to restrict how much advance I could get. And where this is set is at 10 degrees max before that hits the stop, which is 20 degrees at the crank. Now this is still working, and it holds a vacuum, but let's face it, it's 65, 35, 25, it's 60 years old. So anyway, the new distributor is in there, and it did improve it somewhat. And it got too cold for me to mess around with it some more. But I'm going to mess around and see if I can lower the idle screw on the throttle plates a little bit more. But it seems to be running good, but it's so freaking cold here that I got it in and I decided, well, that's it. I'm not going to work anymore. I haven't even road tested it. But I know it's idling better. It's running right, so I'm waiting for the warm weather to get back here, and then I'll take it out and drive it. Okay, that's about it for this one. Catch you all later. Thank you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.